Hey everybody, it's Karen, and today I am coming to you with a collab video with a few channels. I'm going to list them in the description below. And basically, this was organized by Marna over at Dolls Rescued, and this is one of the mini American Girl dolls that Marna has sent me. This is Felicity, and I'm using her today for this collaboration. I have, she came pre-loved and her hair is in really good shape, but I need to, and she's on a cloth body. She's strung pretty tight, but I need to get some gel and I need to really, try to get her like curls back down, and like kind of lightly gel her hair just so that I can get rid of some of the frizz. But she's super cute with her green eyes. So what we decided to do for this collab was to make a summer outfit for a mini American Girl dolls. And I have this book that I used. All right, I literally had it out yesterday and I don't know what I did with it. Sucks to be me. I probably put it under okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. I did a review, or I showed off this book a couple of videos back. It was the Sewing for the Miniature American Girl size dolls. Marna had purchased the book. I purchased it after seeing her. I got it very inexpensively online, used, or maybe not used, but anyway, it's very inexpensive. I think I paid like $7 something for it. And I went ahead and I made this shirt and skirt out of that book. Now, I think that the skirt pattern is absolutely fine. And I literally, guys, one thing I like about these cloth bodies is that I have actually pinned this down because I had problems with the shirt. And also when I made this, it has it's a very simple dress skirt. I mean, and it has this, it's gathered with some elastic here. My only problem with this is that I don't like the bulk that is created by the elastic waist. It would be fine if I could have put this shirt over it, but I had problems with the shirt, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So I am not in love with the patterns out of this book. I think, though, that they are a good base to make things out of. I didn't look at the instructions because I figured I've made shirts and skirts like this a million times. So for this skirt, that was fine. I wish I had made the elastic, even though I measured it to the doll's body and stuff, I wish I had made it just a bit tighter. I feel like it's a little loose. So what I'm going to do is, but I do like the skirt pattern overall on these dolls. So what I will probably do is I will probably figure out either a waistband or a back closure so that I can, I don't have this extra bulk here. I'll probably just fold the top. Anyway, yeah. So, but I liked having this. I didn't have to measure anything out. I was able to just use the pattern, and for the most part, it worked. Now, the shirt, I don't know if you can see this, but can you see how like large it is here? First of all, the neckline, I had to cut off like a good 1/2 inch on either side of the back. And I'm using super stretchy knit for this because I couldn't find some like just plain t-shirt fabric. And it looks like, so if you look at the, this is how I cut I traced the pattern directly from the book onto tracing paper. And here you've got a 1/4 inch at the hem for your seam allowance. So like I didn't screw up like, printing this out wrong or anything because I literally just laid tracing paper down on the pattern in the book. Here at the bottom, you have like a 1/4 of an inch, it looks like, just eyeballing this, of a hem on the bottom. This is the front. You fold it in half. I think it became too large this way. But again, I always have that problem. This is a me problem. I don't know why, but when I do things on the fold, when I do a bodice on the fold, it never works out. So I will probably, when I modify this, I'll probably just turn this into a front full bodice. And then do you see they want you to do like a 1/4 of an inch, or I mean, excuse me, 1/8 of an inch, it looks like, or even less, seam allowance in the armhole and on the sides. And I did it even a little bit more than that. And I think that's way too small because this shirt, look at these arms. Like if I had done a full 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch, then it would have fit correctly. And as far as again, with the arm going in here, you can see how far back this, you can see how much extra gap I have here where, like, here's where her arm is. Now, I have to say the pieces fit together perfectly, but it's just, there's just no way. I mean, I don't know what's going on. Like, for the way I like my doll clothes to fit, this is not a good t-shirt pattern. Also, I think I screwed up on the neckline, so I think that's a me problem, because I didn't read the instructions. So I think the neckline will be better next time, and the backs too, if I'm actually using the a 1/4 inch everywhere. So I want to remake this shirt, and honestly, I want to remake it in some cotton just to see how it fits, and maybe like do a Peter Pan collar with actual 1/4 inch seams everywhere, because I feel like this turned into really kind of like a turtleneck almost, because I think because I did such a small hem, I think if I had gone down another 1/8 of an inch, then it would have not looked like a turtleneck. So I think that the seam indications on the actual pattern, this is again with me not looking at the instructions, just going off of this pattern, like where, oh, here's the seam line, like here's your sewing line, leaving you with an 1/8 of an inch seam here. You have, but the bottom, there's no way. If I had hemmed, I mean, if I take this pin out and I show you, look, now look at how short this is. If I go a 1/2 an inch, this is a crop top. So yeah, so I'm going to rework this pattern. I'm going to go off of this as a base, which I think it's a good base, and I'm just going to change. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change the seam allowances everywhere. I'm going to actually leave this as length and give it an extra 1/4 of an inch on the bottom, so that when I fold it, it's actually here and not up here, because I think that's probably the correct length. And then I will turn this skirt with the next time I make it into either putting a waistband on. I think it looks, you see, it's so loose, and because she's, you know, squishable, I could have cinched that tighter, and it would have been fine. So so yes, this was her summer outfit. I was going for t-shirt, and also this on the sleeve, it's called for 1/4 of an inch. I think a 1/2 an inch seam also would have been more appropriate for the length, you know, because then, or not a 1/2 inch, I keep saying that, a 1/4 inch. So I think that the seam allowances were misprinted on here, and I don't know what the instructions said, but that's a mismatch to me. So I want to redo this. Maybe I'll buy some t-shirt material or find an old t-shirt to cut up. I don't know. I do have some t-shirt material that I could have used, but it was the wrong color for this cute green dress. I'm going to keep the dress. It's totally fine. I think, you know, I can mix and match it with some other things. I'm sure I can find a use for it, but I am going to modify this pattern. So if you could go down into my description of this video and please go see all the other little outfits that people made for in the collab that they made for their little summer outfits for their miniature American Girl dolls. That would be great. And I didn't mind. I had to actually I used my machine for this one, but because this was so stretchy and small, there was no way my machine was going to be able to do that. I had to hand sew this whole thing, and it was not pleasant. So I'm going to try this again. That'll be another reason to try. I'm going to do it again on the machine so that it doesn't hurt. But yeah, I mean, as far as like the pattern pieces, the sleeves fitting into the here's the back. You see, I had to actually cut this was supposed to be the center back, and this was the overlap that then you could, I'm sure, fold in half, and then so you'd have finished backs. But it was so bad, I literally had to cut already like a 1/2 an inch off. And I think I overstretched my neckline. I bet if I look at the instructions, it will say, you know, start at the center back and go around. And I had stretched it all the way because it's super stretchy. I didn't look at that, but after making it, I was like, oh, I probably screwed that up too. So, but yeah, I think everything should be a 1/4 inch seam allowance everywhere, add length. And, but as far as the pattern pieces being well drawn and like the sleeves fitting and everything else, I do give that a go. So if you buy this book, and I wish I could find it so I could show it to you, but again, Marna's used it. She's done a video on it already. I've done a video on it. I don't know. I don't know what if I would say as far as like for beginner sewers, like if they're easy, like this. Okay, a beginner sewer could completely do this. It's so easy. But I don't know. I don't know until I figure out what's going on with these patterns and actually like look at the book. Because I did this last night and I was so annoyed. I just put it down, put the book away, and now I can't find it. I don't know what I did with it. But yeah, I think though I am going to continue to make things out of it for these girls because again, like I said, instead of me having to draft everything, it'll be a good starting point for me. See, this whole thing needs to be up in her arm socket up here. This needs to be lower. It might be honestly easier to make some, I mean, not impossible, but easier to make a t-shirt, you know, where you just trace, you put their arms out, and then you cut out the neckline and you trace the arms and go straight down. As far as making a t-shirt goes, it's probably easier than doing set in sleeves. But I think, what do you think? What do you think, guys? What do you think of these? Do you think I should have, do you think it needed, those of you who sew, do you think it's too big and that it needed correct like 1/4 inch seams? Or do you like the way it looks? I mean, it's way too big. Or do you think I should have read the instructions first? Yes, I think I should have read the instructions first. But definitely, I think this turned out, the skirt for sure turned out really cute. Oops, I just pulled the pins out. I had it pinned in here again because the shirt would not stay tucked. That's why a lot of outfits, when they want a nice smooth shirt, they will make for dolls, they'll make them actually into like a bodysuit. But what I wanted to do was have like ow, son of a gun, I just pinched myself or poked myself. I wanted to, yeah, I've got her pinned all up in this because I wasn't going to bother with the fastening. Look, I just poked myself. I wanted to have the shirt out, cover the skirt, and also this was a casualty when I was making my dark academia. I cut my fingers with the tip of my scissors. Nice, huh? That bled for a while. Anyway, I am violent when I sew, I guess. But yeah, but see, if this was the bottom of the t-shirt, then I would have been able to cover up this bulky casing elastic waistband. And I think that would have been a cuter look. Also, and if I made it slightly longer, she could wear a belt. So, yeah. So I think I'm going to try to make a tank top using this pattern. I think I'm going to try to make a tank top, and I'm going to try to make, again, like I said, a more correctly fitted set in sleeve thing. And I am going to try, I think, to just make like a t-shirt pattern where you just put the doll down and you trace around it, her arms, and go straight down. You cut the neckline and slit up the back so that you can, it's really easy. But then you wouldn't have this awkward, you'd have folds in the armpit here, but you wouldn't, on a small scale doll like this, I think that's probably it's probably easier and better than trying to do these set in sleeves in a jersey or a knit fabric. So let me know what you guys think. And I'm looking forward to seeing what everybody else makes. And also I might try to make some dioramas. They're so small. It would be nice to make a little room box or something for these girls. That might be something I do in the future. If you guys who have these dolls are interested in doing like a room box diorama for them, sound off in the comments below. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. We can get that, like, you know, make a cute little bed or a chair or whatever. And a little dresser, and it would be super cute, right? A little closet or something. So, okay, I'm going to sign off. I hope you guys are having a great day. I'll be back again by the end of the week with another collab, hopefully. And until then, have more dolly fun. And please, once more, go into my description if you're finding me first, and then go check out everybody else who's doing this collab. That was hosted by Marna over at Dolls Rescued. Okay, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.